well. Did everybody have a good time? Reasonable. How about you? I did. I always have a good time. Hello. Hi, Jennifer.
You just posted right before we took off that you're not leaving because of a ceasefire. Why are you? Can you elaborate?
We're looking at better than ceasefire. We're not looking for a ceasefire. I didn't say I was looking for a ceasefire. That was Emmanuel. Nice guy. But he doesn't get it right too often. But we're not looking. We're looking for better than a ceasefire.
You're looking to get into this more. You're not going to involve the U.S. in this conflict at this stage. You're going to do anything more for Israel right now?
We're doing pretty well. Right now, we're doing pretty well. Remember, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. We don't have to go too deep into it. They just can't have a nuclear weapon.
What was the thinking on the call for Tehran to evacuate? Is there a threat or is there incoming? What was the thinking on the full evacuation?
I want people to be safe. And that's always possible. A thing like that could happen. I just want people to be safe.
Is there any new concern about U.S. troops or assets in the region at all today?
We have great people. They know how to protect themselves.
When you say better, what specifically do you mean?
So hard if they do anything to our people. We'll come down so hard, and then the gloves are off so beautifully. Now, I think they know not to touch our troops.
Are you sending the vice?
But our troops are ready.
When you say
Do you
better,
want to send the vice president and Steve Witkoff? There's reports that you want to send the vice president and Steve Witkoff to meet with the Iranians and have discussions. Is that something you're considering?
Not sure yet. I may. Depends on what happens when I get back.
what specifically is better than a ceasefire? What are you looking for here?
A real end, not a ceasefire. An end.
So something that will be permanent.
Yeah. Or giving up entirely. That's okay too.
Are you close there? Is that possible in the next 24, 48 hours?
It's certainly possible. A complete give up. That's possible, yeah.
Has the chairman of the Joint Chiefs and the Secretary of Defense drawn up plans for you if Iran were to attack U.S. bases or do any damage to U.S. bases?
I just can't tell you.
Can I ask you, because there's been some skepticism, is there any guarantee that if the U.S. did get involved militarily, that a U.S. bomb could destroy Iran's nuclear program and facilities?
Everything or anything or life, you know that. Look at you, right? There's no guarantee. But you're saying a guarantee on what?
Do you think if the U.S. got involved militarily, it would actually wipe out Iran's nuclear program? Or where's your assessment of that?
I hope their program's going to be wiped out long before that. But they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. And we did everything I had to do in the G7. We had a good G7. We signed the deal with the European Union, phase one of a deal. But we signed the deal with the UK. And the UK is really great. We're very far down the line with a lot of deals. I mean, look, we're actually finished with every deal if you really think about it, because all I have to do is say this is what you're going to pay. But it's nice to be nice.
Did Secretary Bessent stay behind as your representative? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, a couple of people.
Can I ask you, where...
Here we go. Who else has a question other than CNN?
Mr. President, about the Japanese tour, you met briefly with Prime Minister Abe.
I thought he was terrific, actually. You know, I was very friendly with Shinzo Abe, Prime Minister. He was a great man. But I think he's going to do a very good job.
You think you have a chance of a deal there?
They're tough. Japanese are tough. But ultimately, you have to understand, we're just going to send a letter and say this is what you're going to pay. Otherwise, you don't have to do business with us. But there's a chance of a deal.
They want changes to the auto tariffs as well. Is that on the
See
table?
what happens.
Mr. President, you've always said that you don't believe Iran should be able to have a nuclear weapon. But how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having one.
I got this one on. You were at this beautiful scene for the meeting, and you said a lot about acquiring Canada as a state. Did anybody talk to you about that, and where are you now?
Much better deal from Canada, but, you know, it's up to them. You know, they're going to have to pay a lot of tariffs and things. They're going to have to pay a lot of money for the dome, for the Iron Dome. They want to be a part of it. So we may make a separate deal on that, by the way. They want to be at $71 billion. They're going to pay.
Hey, are you open to negotiating with the Iranians right now, or do you want to wait?
I've been negotiating. I told them to do the deal. They shouldn't have done the deal. Their cities have been blown to pieces. They've lost a lot of people. the deal. I told him, do the deal. So I don't know. I'm not too much in the mood to negotiate now.
Do you think you'll be in the Situation Room tomorrow at any point?
Tomorrow morning, girl, while you're sleeping.
Two more on Iran. Is there any sign that North Korea is getting more involved in helping Iran, or is Russia getting more involved with military assistance?
No, I don't think anybody wants to get involved. It's a mess.
What about American citizens, U.S. citizens who are trying to leave the area with the airport shut down, Ben Gurion shut down?
We're doing the best we can with it. We're working on that. We're doing the best we can. Thank you, everybody, very much. Have a good time.
Thank you.